Hello and welcome back once again to After the Credits. So today we're talking about The Bye-Bye Man. So what did I think of The Bye-Bye Man? It started off interesting and then quickly took a turn and just ended up being another uneventful film for this year. So the premise is The Bye-Bye Man is basically like a virus. As soon as you know the name of the Bye-Bye Man, you're infected. So all of you who are watching this video are now infected. Anyone who's ever seen the movie poster but never seen the movie is infected because you know the name of the Bye-Bye Man. So basically, once you're infected by the virus, it consumes your thoughts and all you think about is the Bye-Bye Man, and anytime you try and resist thinking about the Bye-Bye Man, which is where the catchphrase of don't think it, don't say it, which is repeated throughout the movie, comes into play, the more you try and resist it, the more it tries to take over your mind. So it starts showing you things that aren't real, and then after a while you finally realize that the only way to stop the Bye-Bye Man is to erase its name from existence. So then you start trying to kill everyone that you've ever told about it, anyone they've ever told about it, until it comes back to you and you're the only one left, and then you end up killing yourself, and now no one knows the name of the Bye-Bye Man, so case closed. But no, somehow the Bye-Bye Man always seems to survive, and somebody again finds the name, and the cycle starts all over. So that's pretty much how the movie rolls out. We start out back in the 40s, 50s-ish era, maybe the early 60s, where it's kind of that suburban, Leave It to Beaver style home life where everyone's neighbors, everyone kind of lives in a cul-de-sac. And this guy goes into his house and he asks his wife, who did you tell the name to? And she goes, oh, I told it to Tommy or whatever. He thought it was a funny name. So he blows her away with a shotgun, and then he goes to talk to Tommy. So he asks Tommy, who did you tell? And he goes, oh, I told Marlene across the street. So he blows away Tommy. Then he goes across the street to Marlene, and she's like, I didn't tell anyone. So he blows her away, and then he shoots her daughter just to be safe. Then he goes back home and blows his own head off, or tries to at least, but regardless, he still ends up dying because the Bye-Bye Man got him. So years and years and years go by, and no one's heard of the Bye-Bye Man. It's been pretty much forgotten about. And then these college students decide to rent this house. The guy says it's fully furnished. Well, the furniture's all in the basement. It's been stored for a while. So they get all the furniture out of the basement, and that becomes relevant later on in the movie, which I'll get to as I go. But weird things start happening around the house. They start hearing weird sounds, like scratching at the wall, doors opening, shadowy figures looking like they're looming in the room, but when you turn the light on, they're not there. And these odd coins keep showing up. Like, he finds a coin on the floor. He puts it on the nightstand, he comes back, it's back on the floor. So he puts it in the drawer, and it immediately falls back to the floor. And like at one point, the guy's niece finds another coin. So again, he goes to check the drawer to see if the other one's still there, because his niece found this other one in a different place in the house, and it's still there. So now he has two, and then he's looking at the drawer, and he notices that there's writing inside of it that says, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it, repeatedly, kind of in this like spiraling pattern outward. He's kind of looking at that, and he thinks it's weird, and he kind of pulls up the liner of the drawer, which is, this is all written on, and underneath it says, the Bye-Bye Man, carved into the wood. So now he knows the name. So then he starts seeing things, like he thinks his best friend and his girlfriend are fooling around behind his back, and up until that point, he hadn't really been insecure. He trusted both of them, but now it's like making him question it and doubt it. And that's the Bye-Bye Man playing with his mind, making him see things that aren't really there. So he tells his friend and his girlfriend about the Bye-Bye Man, and then they start to have similar experiences. So then they're trying to research things. So the girlfriend goes to ask the guy who they're in the house from, like, where did this dresser come from? In the meantime, the boyfriend goes to the library and he's looking up information on the Bye-Bye Man, and the only thing he can find is this dead article from the thing that happened back in the 50s, 60s with the other guy, who turned out that guy was a writer who was doing a story on another kid who killed his family because of the Bye-Bye Man. So they finally come to the realization that the reason the guy went and killed everyone was because he was trying to stop the Bye-Bye Man, and the only way to do it was to not tell anyone else about it. And it basically boils down to them trying to fight it and try to find a way to survive it or beat it, and nothing working. And right when they think they've beaten it, it plays one last trick on them, and spoilers, they all end up dying. And then you kind of think, okay, well, everyone who was involved in this story arc is wiped out, so the Bye-Bye Man can't continue. And then the guy's niece comes to the house with her father, and she's like, well, he left that nightstand out by the road in the trash, and I just happened to open it, and, those coins were inside of it. And the Dad was like, well, was there anything else in there? She goes, yeah, just some writing. And he's like, well, what did it say, honey? You know, like, so you're thinking this little girl is going to say, it said the bye-bye man, and that's how it's all going to start again. But a little bit of a twist there. She goes, oh, you know, Dad, it was dark, and I can't read in the dark. And so then it's like, haha, we got you. It's not going to spread. And another spoiler, it spreads another way. The Bye-Bye Man's still around, so sequel baiting, obviously. And that's kind of the movie. I know I kind of spoiled the ending for you guys, but really it's an uneventful movie up until then. The whole premises of it being this virus that you spread by saying its name reminded me vaguely of another movie I've seen or a TV Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it might have been in a more recent episode of Doctor Who had a similar premise where there was like writing or something that infected your mind. I don't remember all the details. It's been a while since I watched Doctor Who, but it seems like a familiar Doctor Who episode, and it's like the premise of at least another movie that I've seen or heard of. I think vaguely similar to, even though I haven't seen it, the movie that came out a couple years ago called It Follows, where you sexually transmitted a ghost that killed you or something like that. So it's kind of one of those odd movies, but like at the same time when I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, this all seems familiar to me. Not that it's a remake, but I've seen this type of story before. And it's just the way everything plays out just doesn't amount to anything to really keep you hooked in, like, okay, what's going to happen next? You know, it's not like an edge of your seat film. You're just watching it like, okay, so what's going to happen? And nothing happens. Everyone just succumbs to it, and that's kind of the end. Not much else to say about it other than that. So what would I give it as far as a star rating? I'd say probably a 2.5. I mean, it's kind of a middle-of-the-road film, but had it actually had some type of a climax to it, it might have been a 3, but because it was just kind of uneventful and just you just kind of veg your way through it, you know, space out and just kind of watch it, just waiting for something to happen that never does. So it loses a bit for that. So based on that, it gets a 2.5 from me, and that's pretty much all there is. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Links are down there in the description. Click the bell up here in the corner. Make sure you're getting push notifications every time I post new content. And until next time, I'll see you after the credits.